Hi, everyone. This is Not Your Mama's Drama with Tanika and Marianne. I'm Tanika.
And I'm Marianne. Hi, Tanika. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your drama? What's going on in your life?
So, my drama this week is dating while married. And to be clear, I mean spouses dating their own spouse or significant other. Anything else would be an entirely different podcast.
I know. I mean, no judgment for anyone that does any of that. But when you sent me the topic, I was like, oh, wait, what's going on? Is there something that I didn't know about? Like, how spicy are we talking about? I'm glad to hear that it's something that I could talk about dating my husband. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And I just, want to talk about how to keep it spicy, what to do to keep it interesting, and how you can just keep it light and happy and still romantic and interesting between you and your partner. Because when you've been together for a while, it can become a little dull if you let it.
Yes, I completely agree. It's really difficult to do something and be entertained by it or find it, I don't know, find like if it's a good use of time. I guess we'll dive into it, but it takes some planning and coordination to get this right, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So, what's your perfect date as a married woman? Or, well, always as a married woman. But what's your perfect date? Either, now as a grown up, as a mature woman, as opposed to like maybe your favorite date when you were 21, but just whatever, whenever. What's your favorite date?
So I enjoy going out to, I guess we don't do the movies anymore because movies are kind of like something you could watch at home for the most part. So we don't invest too much in that. But I do enjoy going out to eat. I enjoy dates with other couples because then there's not like that huge pressure put on you and your husband to hold a conversation that you've had for, 20 years. So you can bring other people into the mix. And I like dancing. I do like to go out and to dance a little bit if there's good music. So it depends. But overall, I want it to just go smoothly. Like, I don't want to go out and have anyone pull out their phones. I don't want to get into an argument. That's more important to me than wherever we go. Like if we're gonna go out, let's make sure to have a good time. I don't want to come back with a bad memory of going to a specific place.
Oh, very nice. So it's more about the experience as far as the relation between you and your husband as opposed to whatever you are experiencing together. It doesn't matter the restaurant or if you're kayaking. It matters more that you had a good time with each other.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I love dating my husband. It's funny because we have three kids and our kids are so spread out that we for a long time didn't have much time to date because we it felt like we always had a baby.
Mhm.
It was always some sort of transition. We were always buying a house or getting a job or going to school or something. So we just didn't really have time to date very much. And then we got a nanny when my little one was about 2 when I went back to work, and we tried to incorporate date night every Tuesday because first of all, restaurants have great deals on Tuesdays. And second of all, we didn't have anything else. There was no work obligation, no nothing. We didn't have any other obligations. And we had a babysitter in place. Um, and we probably did that for maybe, I don't know, we probably did that 3 times in a year. We still just could not prioritize ourselves. But lately, now that our kids are really old, we'll go out just for absolutely no reason. And because my husband works from home, we'll just do a lunch date when the kids are in school, and that has been fantastic. And I love every single time we go out because it's about the experience with him. It's about getting to know him again. As you know, he's a middle-aged dude. I met a 20-year-old guy.
Mhm.
That's who I started dating.
Yeah.
So now I got to get to know who this guy is.
And how do you keep the conversation flowing? This is mind blowing. What do you talk about? What happens?
So we'll talk about current events, or we'll talk about, like, literally, I'll say, so what do you think about what's going on in politics or whatever? I don't care what it is, but we try to not talk about kids, bills, home improvements.
Those seem like three categories to stay away from because it
Yeah.
would just put a really cloudy experience on going out, right? You're going to get into an argument about bills. You're going to get into an argument about which colors to decorate and what style to go with. You're going to get into an argument about which home improvements need to be done. So that seems like a safe bet. Are those rules set in stone? Like, does everyone know that these are the rules?
I wish, Marianne. So we try, but then sometimes even I'm guilty of it. I'll pull out like the bank statements, like, look, this is what we need to do. This is where we need to be. This is what you need to do. And we're talking about it over dinner. But I guess, it's still good because it's just us, and at least we're not in the living room.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least we're out.
It's true. We do that a little bit. We'll get into home improvements we can never agree on.
Yeah.
And then finances. My husband loves to talk about finances. He loves it. He pulls out spreadsheets. Like it's just over and over and over again. And my answer is, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this constantly. So he's like, well, when can we talk about this? I don't know, but I don't want to talk about it. So we do end up talking about it sometimes. I guess he's always like looking for the right moment, to talk
Hmm.
about it because it's just such a sore topic for me because it's so heavy. There's always something to pay. There's always some goals financially that you have to reach. So I find it very unpleasant to have to talk about our finances. It's a chore.
It is. It can be a chore. Now, I like it a little bit more. I'm probably more like your husband than he and I could pull out our spreadsheets and go for it for hours, probably.
It does calculations. Does yours do that too? And I'll ask a question. He's like,
Absolutely.
I've already got it. Hold on.
Yeah. I love Whittler. He's so awesome. Yeah, so we definitely have that in common. And my husband, he really doesn't. He'll talk about it, but more high level. Like, don't give him all the details, please. Just tell Tanika, what do I need to do? Just tell me what I need to do, and I'll do it. And I
Yeah.
like that about him because pretty much I control the finances.
Yeah.
But when we go out, we try not to talk about that, not about the boring details of stuff. So again, we'll talk about like you know, the Oscar slap. We'll talk about something completely irrelevant. We'll talk about TV, or we'll talk about movies, or just something else. We'll talk about our neighbors. Did you see what they did? Did you see what they're driving? Yeah, so we'll do that type of thing.
Well, that sounds like fun. That sounds like a really, really good time. Is
Yeah,
there
it is.
a phone rule? Do you have a phone rule?
No, we're
No.
both pretty we're phone junkies. We respect it. We realize it.
So you can have phones at dinner at a fancy restaurant and both of you could be on your phones?
We try not to, but if we get on it, it's not going to be a big deal.
See, that's my pet peeve. That will be somewhere and I'm not I guess I'm as big of a phone person as anyone else, but when I am in public or with friends or at get-togethers, I really try like not to be on my phone. And my husband lives on his phone all of the time to the point that I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if you've noticed, I am always driving so that he can be on his phone because I refuse to be a passenger for a person that's always on their phone. So that's like our happy medium. So at dinner, the phone is a big thing. I don't want him to take out his phone. I don't want him to answer calls. Like if you want to do that, then we could just stay home. And then while you answer your call, then I'll pull up and stream whatever I want to watch, and it'll be all good. So that's a
I
sure.
totally agree with you on that, but we try not to do it. We're not disrespectful to each other or to our space together. But again, if he gets a call, I'm not gonna be too upset about it. I guess
Mhm.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
He'll take it and then he'll come back. He'll be with me at that point. So
Hmm.
we're not too big on, you can't use your phone, you got to put your phone away type thing. There is no hard rule, I guess. But
Okay.
I do love when we go for the special occasion for whatever reason. Like we just did my birthday not too long
Hmm.
ago, and I got dressed up, and we went to a very fancy restaurant, and he opened the car door for me. And some people may say that I'm antiquated for caring about that, but he's not a rude person, and he's very chivalrous occasionally. That's not his MO. So when he does it, it's just like I'm in heaven. It's like he's courting me again, and I feel really special. So that's good. He's made chivalry special for me.
I think that I am very similar in that way. I appreciate chivalry too. It makes my heart melt if the groceries, if I come with groceries and my husband goes out and carries some stuff without me asking, or
Yeah.
if he opens the door for me or does something, super kind. So that does make it more special, and it just kind of shows me, he's trying to make it special. He's trying to make me feel special. But it doesn't happen too often over here, so I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression.
That's right. Exactly. That kind of brings me to my next question. How often do you think married couples should date?
So Whitler and I talk about this all the time because we don't do it a lot, but when we do it, and it doesn't have to be anything super special, it doesn't have to be anything super expensive, just the fact that you got out and you put some effort into being in the same space without any other distractions and spending time with each other is very refreshing. It makes you feel, how we talked about a health reset? It's like a
Yeah.
relationship reset. So I feel like it's a healthy thing would be to do it like twice a month. Sometimes like we get really busy with work and schedules, but if twice a month we could go out and just, whatever. I'm happy with appetizers and a drink. Like I don't even need a full to sit down and have like something really extravagant. I'm just happy to get out, to have drinks and to eat something and to do it in a place that's, lively and different. But my answer would be twice a month is a good goal that's very achievable.
I agree. I would say once or twice. But again, lately, Corey and I have been able to just steal away on a Wednesday afternoon for no good reason. And that
Mhm.
has been extremely refreshing. And we're not scheduling it. We're not saying we have to do it once a week. We have to get in the lunch date so that when it happens, it is still kind of special. It is
Mhm.
still spontaneous, and it's still like really nice. And again, I've been really appreciating it because we probably went for years, and I mean that, years, without
Mhm.
any type of consistent dating relationship.
Yeah. Well, I just had a birthday too, and my husband, this is how he showed his love and his kindness towards me is that he made a reservation, which is so important. Like research
Very
where
nice.
we're going, make sure that we don't get there and have to wait a long
That's
time.
right.
Like it's the simple things that make it such a special day. So he
Yep.
did that, and we went to a restaurant that I had never been to, but it's Mexican food, and I love Mexican food. And just the fact that he took those special steps to research a restaurant, to make a reservation, made it really special. So we got there, we had a good conversation. It was a change of scenery. It was during the week, so sometimes it's even easier to get to do something like that during the week when
Yeah.
you can find time for yourselves. So I agree, it has to be done.
So do you ever do anything like wildly out of your comfort zone? Earlier, I kind of mentioned kayaking as a joke, but do you ever do anything like that? Do you guys plan to go on a hike or go bird watching or, something
Mhm.
that you don't normally do in your everyday? Do you try to do those type things as well?
So we don't do those things as a couple, but we do have like this tradition as a family to do some things that are kind of adventurous. So like whitewater rafting,
Hmm.
things like that. Just to do something that, I mean, you got to sign a waiver, but people haven't necessarily perished, so you'll be okay. That kind of dangerous. We're not jumping out of planes, but we haven't done that as a couple. And my husband is very risk averse. And I think if it was just me, he wouldn't do it. But if my kids are there, he's going to
Yeah.
put more effort into showing them that you could do, be adventurous and live it up a little bit. So,
So a few years back, Corey and I went to the Autobahn. Are you familiar with that?
well,
The driving. It's not the one in Germany, but the one where you drive around the track, but it's extremely fast. It's go-karts like, but to the next level. And so we did that as a date one time. I think it was for his birthday, and that was so much fun.
mhm.
Now, I'm pretty claustrophobic, and the car and the helmet and the track, it's all very loud and it's all very tight. So I didn't love that, but I love the fact that we did it.
Yeah,
That was something completely different, something that we would never do. And it was just us, it was not for the kids.
yeah.
So that was kind of awesome. I like doing that.
And I think it also makes it easier to have a fun date if you plan an outing like that where you're going to do something together. We sometimes happen to do stuff like that, but like this week, for example, I went to an event where it was like a shuffleboard game, and I thought, oh, it would be so great to come with my husband and do something like this because then
Mhm.
it's easy. Then you have something to do while you're out together because I guess everyone doesn't have this, but my husband's a talker. He's talking to me all day, all the time, constantly. So when we go out, there's not that much to talk about because he's already talked to me, 25 hours that day. And the day only has 24.
Um, he's quite entertaining. So I would appreciate Woodler's conversation. That's awesome.
He's in between his phone, he's talking to me constantly.
Right. So sometimes I will cheat, I guess, and maybe that's because we were so date deprived for so long. But if we're going to Costco at the same time in the same car, I'm calling that a date.
I think that my husband has your same mentality because when he's going to Home Depot, he wants to drag me along and just keep going from store to store just
Yep.
to spend time together. And he'll say it, I want to spend time with you. Let's go. It's not a date. It doesn't count.
It kind of does.
Maybe Costco because they've got food. Had a food court.
They did just start the samples again, but for a while they weren't even doing the samples, so you couldn't even get the free food for a while at Costco. But yeah, I feel like any time spent together, kind of along the lines of what you said, as long as you're not arguing and you're not talking about stuff that you don't want to talk about, you're getting along. I feel like if it's making you feel closer, if
Hmm.
you're having an experience together, even if it is going to pick up dinner, that's a date. That counts for me.
I do feel very loved because he constantly wants to spend time with me. Constantly, constantly. And I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes it's a Saturday, it's a Sunday, and we've spent, 2, 3 hours running errands. That's valuable time that we've spent together because during the week, sometimes we're just passing each other by, or he might be
Yeah.
traveling and I don't see him. So take it when you can get it. And in between those runs, stop and grab some lunch, right? Stop and do something for each other because you can make the time, especially if your kids are old enough to stay home by themselves. That gives you a little bit more freedom.
It does. And I think that, again, because our kids are now older, we are taking this freedom. We didn't have it before because we have amazing parents, period, end of story. but they're not so accessible to us. So we didn't have, some people have their moms or dads are able to take the kids all the time. They're with
Mhm.
their grandparents all the time. That was not our story.
Yeah.
Our kids were with us all the time. So now, anytime we can grab a moment, we're absolutely taking it. Um, and this is a different topic a little bit, but what do you think about public affection while dating your husband or your wife, your spouse, whatever? What do you think about public affection? Does that make it, spicier, steamier between you and your spouse, or get a room, get out of here?
Well, this is one where I don't know, I might sound confusing, but so I'm not all for too much public affection, right? But I would like it if my husband held my hand. Like, hold my hand, please. Let's
Yeah.
bring something back. And he doesn't
Right.
want to hold my hand in public. He's just not for it. So it's I wish there was a little bit more public affection in my life to make me feel loved, because we're just not that like lovey-dovey couple that's
Yeah.
always um doing that. But sometimes it could be too much and it can make people uncomfortable, if there's too much affection, because, once you get past a certain age, and I would say that age is probably 14, you really should not be doing too much of that in public.
14 is kind of young, Marianne.
Once you get past 14, it's just not acceptable.
Okay, I understand how you feel. I don't really like it either. PDA it's sometimes too much, but I do like holding hands. Or sometimes my husband will put his arm around my waist
Yeah.
while we're walking, and that is really nice. I like that. Or are you cold? And he'll give me a jacket. That's kind of cute. I like
Mhm.
that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. Although my husband has gotten to the point that before we leave, he warns me, "You're not warm enough, and I'm not giving you my jacket." I think he's gotten really tired. He's just done with giving me his jacket. Now we get warnings.
There you go. I mean, that's just good, solid advice right
I
there.
know, we've waited this long. Something's working. Understanding, communication, transparency. I don't know. Something's working here.
So you mentioned earlier that you like to go dancing, and so do I. But I can count on one hand, leaving out at least three fingers, how many times my husband and I have gone out dancing, and that includes like our wedding day.
Yeah.
Um, we both graduated with our secondary degrees at the same time, so we threw a party. It included that party. And we just went to a party recently for a friend's birthday, and he danced for a total of 8 minutes. But I got to take it where I can get it.
Yes. So in your whole relationship, he's been dancing like a whole 45 minutes in all these years.
He danced a lot at our wedding. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. I'll give him 2 hours at the wedding. So yeah,
Oh.
2 hours and 45 minutes. Yeah.
Well, Woodler is a big dancer. He loves dancing. If you go with him somewhere and there's music, he will stand on the side and dance alone the entire time. So
Oh, nice.
if you're not dancing with him, he'll dance alone. And if I don't dance with him, he'll dance with someone else. So I better go dance with my husband.
Oh,
But
that's awesome.
yeah, he's a big dancer. And we kind of met dancing. We met in college. We used to go out a lot. So dancing has been just kind of a part of our lives. When our kids were younger, there was this club around here that was not for the very young, but it was still kind of, really, really fun. And we used to go, I would say, probably every other month, we would go out dancing. So that was a date night 10 years ago where we would go and go out to this club and go drink and dance. And another date night that we do that we like a lot is the comedy club. I love it. He doesn't necessarily understand all the jokes, but I love the comedy club. So sometimes it was a comedy club and then dancing. But yeah, dancing is something we both enjoy.
Oh, that's nice. My husband and I used to go to concerts when so we've been dating since we were 21 or 2, somewhere around there, right? 22. And he and I used to go to comedy shows, concerts. We used to go to like art festivals and all of the everything. We always went out somewhere. None of that happens anymore. None of it at all. We did go to a Mary J. Blige concert, I'm going to say about 5 years ago. And I was so surprised when he said, "Guess what I got tickets to?" I mean, I was shocked, floored.
Wow.
And MJB is one of my favorite folks. So it was perfect. It was her and Maxwell. And Maxwell is actually probably the second concert we ever went to. So it was kind of nostalgic. It was very romantic. It was very nice. We dressed up. We went to dinner. That was a fantastic date. Again, that was 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but it was fantastic.
You can't count the COVID years.
Well, yeah, you can't. That's right. But still, I doubt he would have done it even without COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you guys go out a lot and you have a lot of fun. I think it's just about keeping it intentional, making an effort to do it, right? Because sometimes
Yeah.
I really prefer to just stay in bed. Like I'm so tired. I really just want to take a melatonin and just pass out at 9 p.m. because my body needs to recover. But you got to put in the time and you got to do something outside of the normal. And to me, that's spicing it up. Other people might get more spicy, but to me, if I brushed my hair and dressed up and went out and sat somewhere to have a drink, that's spicy enough.
I agree. I agree. If you guys are both enjoying it, I think that is the spice that you need. If you don't like it, then that's absolutely not the thing you should do.
Hmm.
Um, so Corey and I will have fun just watching a TV program too. Like if we get Ozark just came out,
Yeah.
and that's one of our favorite shows. So we binged that together and we talked about it. We dissected what was
Hmm.
happening and where we thought it was going to go. That was not a date because it was in our bedroom or
Yeah.
in our theater, but that was a date.
I
That
know.
was good quality time spent together. So
Yeah.
again, I count it. Check mark.
I think you should. We do that all the time and I spice it up. I'll open a bottle of wine, I'll buy some cheese and some
Yep.
hummus and some crackers and we got a charcuterie and let's sit and watch something and binge. So I that counts for me. If Costco counts, surely a bottle of wine and Netflix counts.
I think you're right. And by the way, Costco does count. So, as far as our tips, our advice for the young folks out there that think they have no hope, first of all, you can date at home. You can date
Mhm.
each other after the kids go to sleep at home. That's totally acceptable.
Yeah,
What do
I
you think?
agree. Make the Of course, yeah, you have to get some quality time when you can get it and, also make some things that are affordable. Going out is expensive, so make some time
Yeah.
for yourself at home and, bottle of wine, a good one, 20 bucks, some cheese and crackers and you got a date night.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's about just, again, spending time doing things that you both enjoy. And that as long as it kind of helps build your relationship, makes your relationship stronger, I think that's, you know, good enough, no
I
matter what it is.
Yeah, and also showing the other person some affection by doing something out of the norm, like making reservations or getting concert tickets. Those things go a long, long way too.
It really does. I literally just got giddy thinking about when he got me the concert tickets.
Hmm. Well, the
So good
concert's to
job.
come when he hears this.
He'll expect payment, but again, different show topic.
I know. My payment is I do the dishes. That man has not done dishes in years, so that's how I pay. Just wash dishes.
Oh, bless your heart and bless his. I don't do dishes either. I don't. Mm-mm. It's not for me. It's not my life's calling. to do dishes. That's why God made dishwashers.
I know. Well, turn on the dishwasher. That could count. That's payment. You don't have to push that dishwasher button or know how to work. God is paying you some way.
That's the payment right there.
Yeah,
And the fact that your love and your bond is growing. There it is. There's your payment.
I think so too. Like there shouldn't be an expectation. The payment is the quality time that you get to spend together.
I fully agree.
Hmm.
Having said that, my husband, I want to make sure you know that I'm not kidding. He's like, you know how much that dinner was?
Oh wow, that's that's interesting. No wonder you go out so much.
Yeah. It's funny. I love his sense of humor. He absolutely keeps me laughing, which is why I think we enjoy each other's company so much. And so when he talks crazy like that, it just makes me laugh. We move on.
Well, we'll have to do a version two, an episode two of how to spice up your life and maybe get some experts here to talk about the real spiciness.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I would love that. All right. Well, I think we've talked about dating while married again, your own spouse or your own significant other. I think we've wrapped it up and we really appreciate you guys for listening.
This was great, Tanika. Thank you for all your tips. You've inspired me. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do more. I'm going to be more adventurous. But yeah, keep it alive, people. Keep going out and dating each other.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Thanks for listening. Bye.